Oh boy, I'm gonna get hate for this. Okay, now before I go too far into this, I just want to make one thing clear. I do think SMG4 is a good YouTuber. I think his videos are funny, and I think he manages to keep things fresh over the years, unlike other YouTuber. But yeah, I do think he's a good YouTuber nonetheless. But it's his consistency with good videos that makes this video all the more terrible. The SMG4 episode, Boys vs. Girls, is probably the worst SMG4 video of 2019. Now, before I dive into the plot here, I just want to ask, how can you make a boys versus girls episode in this day and age work? The only way I could actually see this working is if, maybe both sides lose at the end and they say how dumb the idea of boys versus girls is in the first place, but that's not what they do here. They do the most obvious ending to this kind of story, and they handle it in probably the worst of ways. So the title basically explains the whole plot of this SMG4 episode. It's the SMG4 boy characters versus the SMG4 girl characters. Now, granted, they don't start this like the usual boys versus girls episode where they start arguing which gender is better. No, they do handle it in a moderately more funny way. It's when they actually start going to war where things start to take a tumble in terms of quality. First of all, the girls are hypocrites. I'll get into more detail about that later, but let me just tell you right now, the girls are hypocrites. And not only are they hypocrites, but they're also kind of sadistic here. Like, the boys are just doing harmless little pranks, but the girls, well... And I know what you're probably thinking, well, isn't that kind of common for SMG4 videos for the characters to act a little sadistic, a little crazy? Well, yeah, and I would even be rooting for this kind of stuff if it wasn't for this moment right here.
I am the smart. I am the...
Oh, for the love of... Stop the clip, it's too hard to watch, and not for the reason they want it to be. It is this scene, and everything that happens after this scene, that tumbles this video down to being one of the worst videos SMG4 has put out in 2019. So apparently getting hit by a bear is going too far. Well, let's see what the girls did a couple minutes earlier.
Ooh.
And, this was going too far. Now, this is already dumb enough, and not SMG4 dumb, like unironic dumb, but the events that follow is what makes this all the more worse. You see, instead of calling out the girls for being total hypocrites doing far worse things to them, they actually feel sorry for them, and say that they apologize, but the girls, being the little psychopaths that they are, decide that a genuine apology isn't enough, and decide to torture and humiliate them one more time. They say they're even, and the video ends.
That's it? That's the episode? That was just a bunch of...
So remember, kids, play the victim card so that the other team feels like the bad guy, when in reality... Yeah, seriously, the girls were hypocrites in this. I know it seems stupid that I'm getting angry over a YouTube channel video, but I like this channel and their videos, and this is a slap in the face. The girls are so unlikable with how hypocritical they are with the situation. And the fact that they got no repercussions for their actions? How is this equal? I mean, heck, in one scene Maggie tells them to do their worst, and they did their worst. But you did worse than their worst. I mean, I get that Tari's an emotional weakling and all that, but no repercussions? Like, at all? And to top it all off, only like 2 jokes are funny after the ending tainted the rest of them.
Would you guys consider jacking off to be a sport?
Now, if you like the video, that's great and all. I'm glad you were able to find some entertainment in it, but honestly, this is one of few SMG4 episodes I don't want to watch again after the first go. But if there's any bright side to this is the only SMG4 video I would consider that was bad in 2019. Or at least the only one I would say is bad. If I mentioned the other one I thought was bad, I'd probably get mauled by the fan base.